Welcome back to The Energy Fix, a podcast dedicated to help you balance your energetic body by diving deep into the sweet world of all things health and spirituality. My name's Tansy, and I'm an intuitive crystal Reiki energy healer, energetic nutrition and holistic health practitioner, and a crystal jewelry designer. It's time to talk all things energy. Let's dive in. Hey there, beautiful souls. Today we're going to be talking all about inner child healing, trapped emotions, and chakras, and what exactly they are, what exactly inner child healing is, and how you can best step into healing that so that you can open up to a deeper, more profound transformation in your life. Because that's why you're here, right? To take a step into something deeper and more transformative. I never truly understood the power or the need to do inner child healing until I knew in my body, until I knew how I was presenting and how I knew my body was talking to me. Did I open up to something so much deeper and understanding of what inner child healing is, why it's imperative, and how it was affecting me each and every day, even when I didn't realize it. I remember one point when I first had started with one of my original therapists. Her and I sat and we talked, and I figured going into that session, I was going to be talking about some of my childhood stuff, any traumas or wounds or memories that came up, and maybe how they were associated with what I was feeling in the current moment and how they might be holding me back. I was fully anticipating all of that as part of the healing journey. But what I didn't expect was that disconnect from my inner child, that disconnect from little Tansy and who I was, who she was, what she needed, and how it was affecting me. And I remember sitting in my therapist chair, having conversation. All of a sudden, something triggered me when we were talking about inner child work. Something triggered me as I started to connect to her. And I just started crying uncontrollably, and these tears and this emotion wouldn't stop. And I realized at that point that she, my inner child, was trying to talk to me this whole time, but I wasn't hearing her. Or better said, I didn't know to listen. I didn't know how to listen. And it was at that point, many, many moons ago, that I realized the impact of what the inner child really can do when it is not being fully supported, or maybe it needs some healing. It needs some time to be heard, to be spoken to. And that's what I want to dive in today, because I'm seeing it over and over with clients of mine, with friends and family, and even situations. We are in such a big mass awakening. We are in such a huge transformation on this earth as a collective, as a human race. And as we're starting to shift and transform, it is imperative that we also heal the deeper levels of who we are and what needs to go away, what needs to be let go, what needs to be healed. And that's why I'm feeling very called to bring this inner child work in, to talk about these trapped emotions, to talk about our energy centers, to talk about this, because the more we talk about it, the more we normalize it, and the more we become aware so that we can actually do the work in a real way. Now, before we dive in and get to all the juicy details, I want to give just a little bit of an announcement. From now until February 23rd, 2024, the Crystal Reiki and Intuitive Healing sessions are officially open with the bonuses and with all of the fun, juicy details. Yes, those sessions are open and they are available for booking. You can go to tansyrodgers.com/Crystal Reiki, or head down to the show notes and click the link to check out all of the details and to also get your hands on some sessions. You will also get to dive into what some of those bonuses are that are available right now. For example, one of them is a self-guided meditation that is specifically for helping you to work through some of the tough times that you may be going through right now and to help build your confidence and to help boost up your self-esteem and your resiliency while you're going through tough situations. The other bonus is a tutorial, a video tutorial on chakra work. It is going to be the basics and the foundation of getting you started so that you know when you're doing the work, you know maybe some places that you are imbalanced, some places that you need more balancing, some places that you need a little bit of opening, and how to do it. Both of those bonuses are specifically made to support some of the things that you might be experiencing right now and understanding that there are basic things that you can do just to get yourself back on track as you are working on the deeper healing in the back end. My crystal Reiki and intuitive healing sessions in particular can be done in person if you're in my local area, or they can be done virtually as well. These sessions are specifically designed to not only help clear out and rebalance your energetic body, but they're also designed to have the intuitive coaching and healing piece that goes along with it. After each session that you have with me, you and I will sit down and have a deep, in-depth talk about what came up during your session, what kind of practices or tools that you can start to prioritize and focus on to help move you into your next level of health and wellness and transformation, or whatever your goals are that you're working on. Sessions are complete with some journal prompts, some fast action steps, or just some ideas, some brainstorming, some ideas to help you start to understand what are your next best steps. What can you unpack? And what can you finally step into to have a deeper impact for the long run on your nervous system, not just for the moment? And that's where the key really lies, is how can you have an impact on your nervous system for the long run and not just in the moment as a quick fix or a band-aid. So head down to those show notes, click on the link, or go and type in tansyrodgers.com/crystal Reiki to check out all of the details and to grab your sessions. The last update that I have is that I want you to fully experience and understand what a virtual session with me would look like. And I want to do that for free. I want to give you that experience. However, I know that I can't necessarily do that for each and every one of you that are interested. So we're going to hold a group healing session, a free crystal Reiki and intuitive healing session as a group on February 19th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In this session, I am going to be performing a crystal Reiki healing session on you, and then we will also sit and have conversation afterwards about what came up during the session and what came up that maybe you can start to work towards and start to unpack on your own. There will also be time for you to ask questions and to learn more about the crystal Reiki and intuitive healing sessions that you can purchase individually, and to be able to sit in that and ask me any questions to see if they are right for you. So head down to the show notes, click on that link, and sign up for that free session. I can't wait to see you there. Now grab your favorite crystal infused tea, let's find a cozy spot, and let's begin this exploration, starting with some inner child healing. I want to first start to talk about what inner child healing is and what it means to do inner child healing, and what can also pop up if you choose not to do inner child healing, or if you haven't been aware of it and maybe you're noticing some things shifting and changing and you're curious if that could possibly be associated. So let's start there. I want you to imagine that your soul is this vast tapestry and it's woven with threads of experiences and emotions and memories. But at its core of this really intricate masterpiece, there lies this essence of your younger self. Your younger self is innocent and curious, an unblemished spirit. And this spirit once danced freely in the garden of possibility, right? Like this inner child of you, this inner aspect is so pure and so innocent. It's at the core of who we are. You know, inner child healing is not just this stroll down memory lane. It could be, but typically it's not. It's actually this profound journey. It's about rediscovering and embracing the child that is within you. It's about peeling back the layers of adulthood to uncover this authentic, unburdened self. To uncover this unburdened self that holds the key to your deepest desires, your dreams, and your emotional well-being. So you're probably wondering, like, how do you even reconnect with your innocent self? Like, how do you even start? What does that process even look like? So what I would say to you is to first just picture your inner child. Picture your inner child as this radiant being, completely untouched by some of the complexities of life. And just notice what he or she looks like. Maybe it looks like the inner version of who you are, or maybe it shifts a little bit. Inner child healing is the process of really rekindling the connection with this inner essence and starting to bring more self-compassion into the mix, starting to heal the wounds that may have accumulated over time. And I have found that inner child healing is so incredibly important for a multitude of reasons, but it is really about taking this pivotal step, taking a pivotal step towards this holistic well-being and healing some of those wounds that maybe have severed that connection. When we neglect the needs and the emotions of our younger selves, we carry the weight of just unmet desires, unresolved traumas, stifled creativity. How many times have either yourself or maybe people you've talked to have met you with conversations that were all about, I'm not very creative, or I have all of this trauma that I'm working through, or oh, I really wish that I could XYZ, but you know, that just wasn't meant for me. When I hear stuff like this, that is usually an indicator to me that there is some deep disconnection and some childhood, inner childhood wounds that may be going on. Healing that inner child is about stepping into nurturing your emotional resilience. It's about empowering you to face life's challenges with this emotional resilience by acknowledging and addressing past wounds. When you do that, when you acknowledge and address these past wounds, you actually start to open up and pave this way for some emotional freedom. Like things don't feel as sticky or hard to work through. It allows you to respond a little bit more quickly or appropriately, respond to present situations from a place of authenticity and strength and courage and empowerment, rather than feeling like you are stuck in mud or feeling like you don't have the courage to stand on your own 2 feet when you really need to. That emotional resiliency is so critical. But it is also such a gift. And when we can step into that, because all of us have it, when we can step into that, when you can step into that, man, do things start to shift and change. The other big piece when it comes to connecting in with your inner child is starting to unleash this creativity and this authenticity. You know, I hear so many people talk about being not creative or feeling like they did not have that bone weaved into their body when they were born. But the reality is that every single one of us at our authentic core is creative on a certain level. What creativity looks like to me may look completely different to you, but we're creative. Your inner child is this guardian of your creativity and your authenticity. And when you embrace and nurture this aspect of yourself, you start to unlock this amazing wellspring of creativity and passion and a genuine connection to the true self, to your true self, to who you really are. Connecting into that inner child has so many amazing benefits. But when we don't do it, or when we neglect connecting in and healing that part of us, there can be some consequences that step up, and you may not necessarily know where they're coming from. So let's talk a little bit about that. So let's bring an analogy in. Think of a garden. And just as an unattended garden starts to wither or it starts to become neglected, this neglected approach to your inner child can manifest in a lot of physical and mental health issues. A lot of emotions can start to creep up. A lot of physical ailments can take place, leaving you scratch your head wondering what is going on. So let's talk about the body. Let's talk about that piece in particular. Our bodies often mirror the internal landscapes of our emotions. I want to repeat that again, all right? Your body often mirrors the internal landscape of your emotions. When you have unresolved emotional pain from childhood, that can start to manifest in physical ailments. You can start to experience chronic stress and even things like anxiety and depression starting to pop up. I remember when I was on my journey and I was not fully connecting in or realizing that my inner child needed some healing. I noticed that a big part of the way it was talking to me, my physical ailments, was through my digestion and through stomach issues, which then also related to some mental and emotional stuff going on. So I noticed immediately that there was issues with my digestion overall, but also weight gain. Like I was eating healthy, I was exercising, I was doing all the right stuff, but I could not seem to lose the weight that I wanted to lose. I was trying to manage my stress levels and trying to do all of the healthy stuff because this is the world that I was in. But when I first started out on this journey, trying to manage some weight loss was really challenging. Looking back on it, I understand now that that weight loss was a way for me to stay protected and to stay safe. I understand now that it was part of the emotional landscape that was going on the inside of me. Because from that point, anxiety and depression started to take over, and it started to worsen the more that I pushed away some of that deeper healing. Again, it was very subconscious for me. I didn't understand totally at that point. But that anxiety and depression began to become super became gripping on my heart. So for me, that was where it started. And I had other little things pop up along the way for sure. But for you, it could look totally different. So if there's things that you're experiencing, parts of you that maybe keep popping up physically, mentally, or emotionally, you're not quite sure where it's coming from or where it's stemming from, it could be that you have some deeper healing that needs to be done. The other piece when it comes to inner child work is also looking at our relationships. So I think back to that time that I just talked about. And at that point, I was in a really unhealthy relationship. I was in a really unhealthy, narcissistic relationship. And that relationship challenged me to my core. But it also disconnected me even further from my inner child because I honestly, like, I just couldn't hear her. I was so stuck in some of the patterning that I was stuck in with my relationships. I couldn't even push through the fog to see past that. So when you ignore your inner child, you may start to perpetuate these unhealthy patterns in your relationships, in your self-esteem, and even in your overall life satisfaction. And I know for me, that was definitely cropping up and becoming very apparent. But it wasn't that I was purposefully ignoring my inner child. I just did not know. I didn't know any different, which is why we're doing this episode, because I want you to know and to be aware. When you start to undertake some of this inner child healing and you start to explore it, this is where you begin to break free from these cycles. And you start to forge this path towards a healthier connection, towards a more fulfilling life. You start to clear the junk away and to clear away some of the fog so you can see more clearly, know how to walk forward in a healthier way, voyage more into self-love and compassion. You know, when I have somebody on the table, I see this all the time. When I have somebody on the table, it is not uncommon that their heart chakra will be blocked, and that ability for self-love and self-compassion, that ability to take time for themselves, the ability to step into self-care feels like a force to be reckoned with. And almost always, I see that connection as I move through the body and do more of the healing and the scanning through. I almost always see an aspect of inner child work that needs to be done. Almost always. That typically seems to be a block. And when that person starts to work on some of the inner child work based off of what they need from their session, they start to be able to prioritize themselves more and to show themselves more compassion, more forgiveness, and more love, and to actually feel better about who they are in their skin. That's what you're doing here, is you are unlocking who the true authentic you is and this essence of your being. That's where the beauty of inner child work really comes, is stepping in and connecting to your authenticity, to that purity of who you are. Now, let's start to talk. We're going to shift gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about something that affects every single one of us, and that's trapped emotions. You have trapped emotions. I have trapped emotions. Your friend has trapped emotions. Your child has trapped emotions. We all have them. It's so easy for it to happen. We're like little energetic sponges. We absorb emotions that linger within us. Every single time that we interact with a person or a place or even a thing or a pet, anything, we can absorb that. But, my friends, fear not, because we're going to learn about how to set those emotions free so that you can just feel a little bit more clear and not feel like you're being held hostage, right? Let's play connect the dots. What does trapped emotions and your inner child have to do with one another? I want to connect those dots. Our experiences, especially those from childhood, so think inner child, okay? Especially from those from childhood, they leave imprints on our emotional canvas. And these imprints that are left can become trapped emotions. They can affect our responses to similar situations throughout our lifetime and continue to rear their ugly heads and to come about every time we're triggered in that situation, or really in a situation that resembles how we were originally triggered. And if we don't let go, if we don't release some of those emotions as we're being triggered, we can take hold and trap them within our body, within our soft tissue, within our energy field. We can trap them within us. So that's why when I'm talking to clients of mine or people that I'm working with or that I'm talking to, and we're talking about how do you let go of some of these trapped emotions, I always emphasize it is important to actually just let it go. That could be crying. It could be screaming and getting angry, of course, in situations that you're not going to hurt anybody else, right? But it's about letting it out. Maybe it's through body work and movement and exercise. Maybe it's through breath work. Maybe it's through releasing those emotions in the most appropriate way, like crying or screaming or physically pounding your hands, right? Again, keeping ourselves safe, but doing that in a safe way. I'm sure you probably have heard the whole technique of punching your pillow. Yeah, that's why. Because it gets out not only that energy and the aggression, but the energy that's tied to that emotion so that you can release and let that go. But there's also another really powerful technique. And this powerful technique is called the release ritual. So to perform a release ritual, all you're going to do is start by closing your eyes and taking a moment to visualize and tune into your body. And if there's any areas that feel tight, that feel compressed, that feel like there is a ball or a knot in them, sometimes people talk about feeling like you have a knot in your stomach or feeling like your chest feels really tight. But tune into the body and see if there's any place that stands out to you. And when you find that space, you can do this multiple times, by the way, but when you find that first spot, visualize the trapped emotion, visualize that area as a colored ball of light within you. And that color can be whatever color resonates, whatever color is the first color that pops up, whatever color feels healing to you. You're going to take a moment and you're going to start to breathe deeply. And as you breathe deeply, begin to imagine the exhaling as releasing that ball, letting it dissipate, letting it be transported back into the universe so that the universe can transform it into lighter energy. And continue to do that until you start to feel some lightness and some space within that area. And that could look multitude of ways. It could be a physical lightness coming around. It could feel like maybe that knot has unwound itself a bit. It could feel like the tightness in the chest or the tightness in the area is not so tight and constricted. Or maybe you can physically feel your body, your shoulders, or whatever area feels tense, relaxing into your seat. And when you feel like you have released that, you can either stop that practice and move on, or you can go and find another spot and do that again. But taking that active visualization of connecting into that spot and giving it form, giving it a name, giving it a color, and then visualizing you releasing it is such a powerful way to let go when you aren't able to do some of the other forms. Or maybe when you caught it after the moment that has happened and now you're just feeling like it's stuck. Remember, you don't need to know what the emotion is. You don't need to know why it got trapped. You don't need to know the details. But it's about taking the time and addressing it and letting it go. And this is one of the reasons too why I love doing the work that I do. I love the concept of energy healing. And that could look like so many different forms and modalities of energy healing, but I just find it to be such a powerful tool because when you enter into that realm of energy healing, you bring about this profound force that actually can help to transcend the physical. Like you walk past that, you walk through and past that. And when you can do that, it starts to help to break up some of these emotional shackles that you have on you that maybe you haven't been able to navigate life in the way that you want to. And talking specifically about Reiki and crystal therapy, or the combination of both, these modalities work on a vibrational level and they help to dislodge and disperse these trapped emotions. It's like going in there and just just exploding them, right? So they can be released and to be renewed. It's like this gentle breeze kind of coming in and untangling the knots in your emotional tapestry and helping to restore some balance and some harmony. I think the key thing that I just want to highlight though is that as you venture into this realm of emotional liberation and trying to let go of some of those trapped emotions, remember, you hold the power to release. You hold the power to renew. You hold the power to rise up, really. You hold the power. And as we're talking about inner child healing and trapped emotions, it would be a travesty if I did not mention or talk about chakra work, because really that's where it all starts. It is the basis of how we can shift and transition and heal and unblock and expand and grow and transform by understanding and knowing what may be blocked, what may be too open, what is just right. So it almost reminds me of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? Like that whole story. What you're looking for just right. You're looking for that balance. You're looking for that optimal place. That's how you start to open and let go. So let's talk about the 7 main chakras. And I'm not going to go into huge detail. I just want to start very briefly. So what are the chakras? All right. Picture your body as a vessel of energy. And these 7 main chakras, you have many throughout your entire body, throughout your entire energy field, but I'm just going to reference the 7 main ones that you probably hear more often. They act as a swirling vortex, and each one of those 7 main chakras is responsible for this unique aspect of your well-being. From the vibrant red root chakra to the ethereal violet crown chakra, each one is playing this crucial role. And each one plays this crucial role so that it can maintain balance and keep you at your healthiest. So again, let's explore each one. Like I said, I'm going to keep it very brief, but let's explore each so you understand what they are. We'll start at the base. The root chakra, which is located right at the bottom of your tailbone, is the chakra that helps to ground us to the earth. It helps to ensure stability and security. It helps to ensure or to give us feelings of a foundational support. Now we'll move up to the sacral chakra, which is right around the belly button area. And this is your chakra of creativity and your passion. That's where that resides. It is also the area of much of your divine feminine energy. Now, again, we all have feminine and masculine energy running through us, but that sacral chakra is very connected into the feminine side of you, that feminine energy. Regardless of how you identify, it is there. Let's move up to your solar plexus chakra, which is located right below the rib cage or in that area. The solar plexus chakra, it helps to govern your personal power and your self-confidence. It is your drive, your self-esteem, your push, your willpower. Your solar plexus, like when I talked about sacral being more that feminine energy, I often say that the solar plexus is more of that masculine energy. Again, regardless of how you identify, we all have it. That solar plexus is very much about the masculine, the doing, the putting out there. When we move up to the heart chakra, it is the epicenter of love and compassion. And our heart chakra, you got it, it is located right at our heart center. It's our love, is our compassion, not only for the people that are in our world and for the people that we look at and that we expand out to, but also love and compassion for ourselves. That is the other side of that heart chakra. It is also the connector from your earthly chakras, which would be your root, sacral, and solar plexus, but then connecting you into the upper chakras, which we're going to talk about next. And when your heart chakra is open and balanced, it's much easier to connect everything else together. Moving up to your throat chakra, which is located right at your throat, that is the place of governing communication, your self-expression, the way that you express yourself and your feeling, the way you express your heart desires. It is all forms of communication. When we come up to the third eye, that is right in between your eyebrows and a little bit up. Your third chakra is all about your intuition. It's about how you connect into your higher self and your deeper wisdom, how you connect into spirit, how you can really govern what some of that deeper wisdom is to help you move forward. When you can open and listen to your intuition, you can start to hear some of those silent whispers of how to best move forward, how you're supposed to move forward for you. Keeping your intuition open is really important, especially when it comes to inner child healing, so that you can heal in a deeper way. Coming up to the crown, which is the final one that I'm going to talk about, the crown chakra, which is located at the very top of your head, that connects us to the divine. That connects us to God or source or universe, whatever word resonates with you. It connects us to the greater being and can open us up to that deep, deep wisdom that expands beyond place and time. So you'll see that as you really focus on balancing out from root all the way up to crown, you're really balancing out all aspects of your life. Foundation to higher dimension connection. You are balancing fully and completely. And that is critical for keeping your overall energy bodies balanced. Now, when we talk about balancing and unblocking energy flow, and we're talking about these chakras, I want you to imagine your chakras as these spinning wheels of light. And when these wheels are in harmony, energy flows freely. But when there's disruptions, it can lead to imbalances. Keeping these chakras balanced is not as hard as it sounds. You can do activities like meditation, yoga, and breath work to help align and rebalance your chakras. You can get energy healing work like Reiki, crystal therapy, acupuncture, massage, many other modalities for energy healing. You can visualize each chakra as this radiant ball of light, trying to see that ball of light starting to spin in unison with each other. It's really about like tuning your energetic instrument to play this really beautiful melody of balance and harmony. And when you can do some of that visualization and take part of some of these energy healing practices or rebalancing activities, that's going to help to keep you more balanced in the long run. We can get imbalanced at any point and also multiple times throughout the day. Our chakra energy is constantly shifting depending on our triggers, our responses, who we're with, what activities we're doing, what kind of energy you need to recruit more of, what kind of energy you need to put on the back burner. Things are constantly shifting and moving. But knowing and understanding when you are chronically and consistently becoming imbalanced is going to be important, because if you are not pulling things back into balance, then you're going to stay out of alignment for longer periods of time. And that's where you start to see the signs and the symptoms starting to crop up that you are out of balance and that you need some extra energy healing work done. Now, I want to connect the dots again. Let's connect the dots between chakra alignment, inner child healing, trapped emotions, all the things we've been talking about. The state of your chakras can influence every single aspect from your physical health to your emotional resilience and to your spiritual connection. And this also is directly connected to your inner child health as well. It is directly connected to how or if you trap emotions. And honestly, which emotions get trapped more often. And depending on what chakra is out of alignment or which ones are consistently a little bit more challenged, you may find yourself trapping certain emotions or certain triggers, which become these trapped emotions a little bit more easily than others. Again, then leading to an overload and feeling like, what has happened? Like you feel so out of alignment. When your chakras are in harmony, you may start to notice some of this improved physical health. You may also start to notice heightened intuition, a deeper sense of purpose, and it's about creating a resonance that echoes throughout every aspect of your being. You know, when I have clients come to me on the table, it is not uncommon that one of their questions, one of the things that they want to work on is finding out their deeper sense of purpose. Like, why are they here? What can you do to create a deeper impact in this world? And it's not uncommon that as we start to balance that person's energy centers out, the chakras, as we start to balance that out, all of a sudden they can hear their intuition more and they're connecting into their heart and they're feeling higher vibrational energy like love and compassion and gratitude. And as they're doing that, they're starting to get and feel some guidance, feeling like they know how to move forward, like they just know how to move forward, rather than searching and trying to understand. And through the whole process, they feel more grounded and they feel more able and understanding how to connect in to the foundation and security of who they are and what they need, but also to connect into the deeper healing aspects, the inner child that needs to be healed. And as you start to navigate this kaleidoscope of your energetic centers, remember, you are in charge. You help to maneuver and influence the symphony of them. You get to choose the balance or the imbalance and to take the steps to be able to move forward, shift, transition in whatever way you need to. Sometimes you might need a little bit of help and guidance in the beginning, or maybe the help and guidance when your subconscious brain and those things that are scary or fearful or you don't quite have the courage to stand up to yet, like maybe they are holding you back. You might need a little help, but overall, you get to dictate how things shift and transition. Okay, so now that you've uncovered some of the secrets of inner child healing, you're starting to understand how you can liberate yourself from some of your emotional shackles, and you're also exploring this enchanting world of chakra healing and what that looks like and how to shift and transition. I want to start to talk a little bit about some practical tips. Practical tips for maintaining the energy harmony in your daily life and to make it work for you. Think of, like when we talk about this energy work, think of energy work as the daily vitamins for your soul. You know, you take your vitamins, you eat healthy, you do those things that you know to do that just come easy and that are talked about all the time when it comes to health and wellness. But one thing that you might not think about is the energy side of it. And when you start to shift your viewpoint to energy work is like your daily vitamins for your soul, it opens up a whole new way of looking at how to nourish your body. To nourish your energy is crucial for overall well-being and for your body harmony. So let's dive into some practical ways to start to weave this energy work into your day-to-day routine. Starting first thing in the morning is one of my favorite times to really begin addressing some of this energy healing work. Not just because you are more likely to get it done and then not forget as the day goes on, but because first thing in the morning, your energy has not, your being has not been really interrupted by a lot of outside opinions, outside energies, outside forces. And that's important because we want to get your brain fresh right off the bat when you're able to really tune in and not have as much influence from the outside world. So start your morning with just a few minutes of maybe some mindful breathing. Breath work is so awesome for not only helping to release out some trapped emotions, but to also help get you connected into a more calm place, into a place that feels less stressful, and allowing your intuition, your body to just open up to some of the deeper healing. As you inhale, visualize positive energy starting to enter into your body. And as you exhale, release any negative tension or any tension that feels like it's stuck. It can be super simple. And this is a really simple yet powerful way that you can set the tone for each day. I encourage you to set the tone for each day because as you do, you are going to be more connected into you and also be able to keep yourself more balanced throughout the day as you do. So keep it simple, using the mindful breathing, being intentional about the inhale, being intentional about the exhale. Let's talk about some crystals because I love my crystals. I want to talk about some crystal companions and especially ones for emotional healing because as your day goes on and you might notice some of your energy becomes, for a lack of better words, not as pure as you would like it, not as healthy or as balanced as you would like it, not as open and free as you would like it, you might start to notice that it takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally, and maybe even physically. So, using crystals in a healing aspect can help you to hold on to some of these unique energies that can support and rebalance your emotional healing, rebalance your energetic field. One of my favorites to use is rose quartz. You can carry a rose quartz with you to help enhance some of your self-love or some of your compassion, especially if you're working in a situation that may make you question yourself in that sense, or maybe when you're around people that make you question if you can be compassionate to yourself, if you are worthy of self-love. And those situations can be tough. Crystals not only carry that vibration to help influence our energy, but they're also an amazing touch point. So if you're in those situations and you have a rose quartz on you, that rose quartz can, of course, impact your energetic field and help to bring you into a healthier vibration, one that's going to support self-love and compassion. But it also is a great touch point that you can put your hand into your pocket, touch that crystal, that rose quartz, and allow you to remember, I am worthy of self-love. I am worthy of compassion. Amethyst is also another awesome crystal to help with soothing your stress and promoting more of a peaceful mind. It's one of my go-tos for that. And you don't have to necessarily just use a crystal tumble. You can wear a bracelet, you can wear a piece of jewelry, earrings, necklace, whatever resonates with you, whatever makes sense for you. But if you find that letting go of that stress and promoting more of the peace within your heart, within your mind, within your being is a little challenging for you, amethyst would be an amazing stone for that. I also really love using smoky quartz because smoky quartz is super grounding and helps you to connect into grounding, but then also releasing out some of the energies that maybe you're picking up along the day. Experiment. experiment with different crystals, find what resonates with you, and then let them be your energetic ally. And if you're really not quite sure which crystals to use, or you're not sure even where to start, head over to Instagram at my crystal page at BEU Crystals. Not only can I offer you some help and advice through my posts and the things that I post over there, but also you can DM me and ask me questions, and I would be glad to help you along on your journey. Please feel free to reach out and just ask questions, because I know when I was first starting out on the therapeutic side of crystal healing, I was super confused. There's so much to know. There's so much to know. And I don't want that to be what gets in your way of using crystals in this kind of supported fashion. So definitely feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you out there. When we are talking about chakra balancing exercises and what to do when it comes to maintaining this energetic harmony, doing some quick chakra balancing exercise can be a secret weapon. And people don't need to know that you're doing this. This is something that you can easily do anywhere at any time. And doing some of these quick chakra balancing exercises can be just like a little bit of like a mini spa for you, right? Like it can help to restore your balance, your clarity, your vibrancy, and help you to regain a sense of groundedness again. Because I see groundedness as one of the main things that happens, I should say, one of the main pieces that goes first, becomes imbalanced first when it comes to your chakras. It's really easy to become imbalanced in your root chakra, that groundedness, and become more up in those upper chakras. And you might think that that's a good thing, but the reality is we need to be balanced in all of them. We need to be balanced and thorough in the way that we are moving through our energetic body. If we're too much in our head, in our, heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakra, and we're feeling really ungrounded, that's where you're going to see a lot of emotional imbalance coming in. The anxiety, the depression, the racing thoughts. So groundedness is really, really important as an overall. If you feel that your energy is scattered, try something that I call the grounding stance. Here's what that looks like. You would stand tall. You would envision roots extending from your feet into the earth. These roots really grounding you into the earth. And you can take as much time as you need to do that. It could be quick. It could be a little longer, depending on how disconnected or scattered you're feeling. And as you're doing that, it's really about that visualization of you being pulled down, grounded into the earth. That's something super simple that you can do anywhere. I also like doing a foot stomp. And this might look weird if you're in a meeting, but if you're not, and you're not around a lot of people, just stamping your feet onto the ground, reminding yourself that you are connected to the earth, that you're rooted into the earth. You can also do, for another grounding practice, do a mini squat. And just as you mini squat down and you push up, feeling your feet planted into the earth, feeling that earth firmly connected below you. Again, pick something that resonates with you, or resonates with you in the situation that you're in, and that you're able to do it. For a quick heart chakra boost, like if you're feeling like your heart chakra is a little closed down, you need that to be opened up a little bit more, here's a great time that you can use some crystals. I love to take a green stone and put it right onto my chest. You can do that during meditation. You can wear it as a piece of jewelry. That can help you to connect in with that energy of love and compassion. And it can also help you to connect into your inner child. If you are looking to do some inner child healing, very often when our heart gets closed, it can be hard to connect into he or she. It can be hard to connect into that energy. So if you're trying to do that and you need to release some of that, or if you're feeling like you have a lot of tension, tightness, compression in the heart area, like it's hard to really extend your heart out to love on people, to love on yourself, then using a green crystal would be a great way to open that up. Now, if you find yourself around a lot of negative energy, or you need a little bit of support when it comes to transmuting some of that negative energy, or you need a little bit of energetic protection, I like to carry a piece of black tourmaline to help absorb and transmute that negative energy. When you're facing some emotional turmoil, maybe reach for something that's more calming, like a blue lace agate or a comforting piece of smoky quartz. Again, you can use these in any ways that resonate with you. Wear them as jewelry, pop something into your pocket, use it as a touch point, keep it on your desk or in an area that you're going to see it regularly, and work with it in whatever way makes sense for you. Now, the last little tip that I want to give here is kind of coming back to the whole concept of the quick chakra balancing and talking about an exercise, a go-to tool that you can use when you are feeling like there is a lot going on and you feel like you need something quick just to balance you out. This is called the chakra scan, and it can be a really quick check-in. Here's what you'll do. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to start to take some nice deep breaths. And as you take those deep breaths and you feel your body starting to calm down, you'll start to visualize a beam of light moving through each chakra. I like to start up at the head, up at the crown, and seeing a beam of light come down my head, moving into my crown chakra, moving into my third eye, coming down into the throat, coming down into the heart, then into the solar plexus, down into the sacral, and finally down into the root, and connecting all of them together. And as you do that, notice on that path, notice if there's any areas of tension or imbalance. And if there is, if you notice something popping up, if you notice maybe even just your intuition saying, I think I have some tension in my heart chakra, for example, send soothing energy to those points. That could look like a ball of light. It could look like a feeling. It could look like you saying out loud, I'm sending soothing energy, healing energy to that area. Whatever resonates with you, okay? Now, another option to this is color visualization. You'd picture each chakra as a vibrant ball of color, ensuring that that shine begins to become bright and clear. Now, each chakra does have a color that's associated to it. Your crown chakra at the top of your head, that color is typically violet or white. When you come down to your third eye, that is an indigo color. When you come down to your throat, that is a blue color. When you come down to your heart chakra, that's typically green, but it could also show up as pink. When you come down to your solar plexus, that is a yellow color. When you come down to sacral, that is an orange. And when you come down to your root chakra, that's a red. Now, as you're doing this chakra scan and you shine that beam of light and it comes down, but you put the color visualization in, notice at each chakra what the color looks like. So does it look vibrant or does it look dull and murky? And if it's looking anything but bright and clear, sit with that and just allow itself to start to shine bright and clear of whatever color that chakra is. And if you have trouble with seeing the colors, then just allow all of them to be white. That is totally fine. Remember, these practices are about creating a sacred space for yourself. It's about creating a sacred space amidst the busyness of life and allowing you to tune in, tap into your inner energy, and let the daily rituals be your compass to navigate some of the currents of life. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be time consuming. As you can see, the examples that I gave you today are really about simply weaving it in and doing it at any point when you have just a few moments, a few seconds sometimes. So use these simple practices to create that sacred space and allow your body just to let go and release. And there you have it, my radiant listeners, a journey through your inner child healing, emotional liberation, releasing those trapped emotions, and the magical world of chakras. Remember, you have the power to be the maestro of your own energy symphony. You get to dictate what's going to sing and expand and what may not. You get to dictate the balance and the harmony that happens. You have all the power within you. And if you are looking for a little extra support because you're struggling with allowing your subconscious to really step in, tap in, and do some of that deeper work, then I would love to invite you into one of the, or many of the crystal Reiki and intuitive healing sessions that I offer. Head down to the show notes, make sure that you jump in and get those free gifts. Get all of the bonuses added in. Come to the free energy healing session. Take advantage of this because this is the start. This is where it all shifts. When you can transform, when you can step into a deeper healing, when you can step into really looking at the root cause, that's when everything transforms and shifts in the best of ways. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Energy Fix. And I really hope that this helped to open up some different concepts around what it means to truly be healthy and what it means to connect into the depths of who you are in a more authentic way. Share this episode out to somebody who you think is going to need it. And if this episode resonated with you, I would be honored to have you give me a review, to jump over to iTunes, give it some stars. It helps the show grow so much. For more tips and notes from the show, check me out at TansyRodgers.com. And until next time, keep spreading that beautiful energy you were born to share.